Loans that record on-time payments and could help you build your credit.
You're watching the L2C Media Network, and this is the L2C Sports Final with Steve Baxley. The Baxman Show is sponsored in part by the L2C Media Network. Now, with the headlines and details of a wild Friday in sports, here's Steve. Hey, thank you very much. Hi there. Thank you very much there, mi amigo Harry. How you doing, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to what we got for you tonight is a very, wild show. Well, wild in the sense it is the weekend. House cleaning. The latter producer can recuperate. So we're ready for anything. In fact, let's get you with the headlines. And oh joy, oh Raptor.
Cost up to $130, but act now and get Beyond Bright for just.
We got, of course, turn the background noise down because we don't want to get any copyright strikes. But let's get you caught up with the full details in sports. And wow. If it weren't for bad luck, this man would not have any luck at all. The new Washington football team coach, Ron Rivera, has been tasked with rebuilding the organization's culture this offseason, and he wasted no time taking another step forward on Friday. Minutes ago, the Washington Post reported that third-year running back Darius Guice had been arrested on domestic violence-related charges, including felony strangulation. Washington announced that it has released the former second-round draft pick, parting ways with the ex-LSU standout after just 2 seasons. The team said in a statement, quote, "On Thursday, we learned of a potential domestic violence-related incident involving Darius Guice, or G-O-I-C-E, or Guice. We immediately alerted the National Football League and have continued to work with them during this process. We then met with Darius to inform him that he was excused from all team activity pending a review of the matter. Upon review of the nature of these charges and following internal discussions, we have decided to release Darius immediately." Quote. A highly touted prospect coming out of LSU in 2018, the 23-year-old Guice is also facing counts of assault and battery, as well as 1 count of destruction of property, as a Loudoun County Sheriff's Office spokesman told the Washington Post. Guice was set to enter a critical season in Washington, where he was limited to just 5 games through 2 NFL seasons. The running back turned himself in to Loudoun County Police in Virginia on Friday, as NBC Sports Washington's J.P. Finley reported, and could also face official discipline from the NFL. Now, the league has grown increasingly strict in regards to domestic violence incidents, often instituting a 6-game suspension for first-time offenses and a lifetime ban for a repeat violation. Rivera, meanwhile, has been publicly championing a reverse of Washington's culture in the wake of several headlining incidents, namely the club's retirement of its longtime name Redskins following mass public pressure, as well as a bombshell Washington Post expose regarding allegedly persuasive sexual harassment within the organization. Drafted 59th overall in 2018, Guice reportedly slid out of the first round in part due to character concerns, but had avoided any off-field troubles for his first 2 seasons. A torn ACL sidelined him for his entire rookie season, and he was limited to 5 games in 2019 following a torn meniscus in Week 1. He was expected to help lead Washington's ground game in 2020 alongside veteran Adrian Peterson and rookie Antonio Gibson. Bryce Love is a sleeper to also contribute in this backfield of honor. But now, well, we just have to wait and see what happens next. In other NFL-related news, well, it's beginning to sound more and more like a police blotter than a NFL report. New York Giants. Oh boy, they may be looking at some cuts as well. DeAndre Baker is now officially fighting for his freedom. The New York Giants defense back has been formally charged by Broward State Attorney Mike Satz with 4 counts of robbery with a firearm, per Pat Leonard of New York Daily News, stemming from an incident in May that also initially involved Seattle Seahawks cornerback Quinton Dunbar. While Dunbar, 28, will not face charges due to insufficient evidence, Baker is facing upwards of 10 years to life in state prison for each case. Now, both Baker and Dunbar were initially arrested on warrants that alleged they robbed partygoers at gunpoint before escaping in high-priced getaway vehicles. The allegation sparked a mountain of infighting between the legal sides of both parties, but while Dunbar has found resolution and exoneration, Baker will be fighting for his own life as he goes on trial. The NFL released the following statement via Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. Quote, "We have been monitoring all developments in the matter which remains under review." End quote. Short but not so sweet. Baker's lead attorney, Bradford Cohen, also issued a statement, albeit a much more scathing one, as he wrote on Instagram, quote, "Disgusting. No, I won't hold back on behalf of this young man. To charge a young man based on admitted liar's testimony is why we need change in Broward from the old guard. I implore you all to go out and vote. Don't waste your vote. There are candidates that will change the landscape of how the judicial system works. We will now expose hypocrisy at the case filing level. The way the office of the state attorney teamed up with these convicted felons and offered them to come in and explain why they changed their stories multiple times without fear of prosecution. That they were tipped off that we were reporting the extortion. The case filer and the case looked for any way possible, and in disagreement with his colleagues to charge this case, I will be given a more formal statement on that process," end quote. Now, both Baker and Dunbar are currently on the commissioner's exempt list, but the latter could potentially be removed soon and in time to report to the Seahawks training camp, pending the conclusion of the league's probe into the matter. Baker, however, is literally in for the fight of his life. We'll keep you informed as to what occurs next. In college football, and this is fun. College football, folks at the SEC announced last week that it will play a 10-game conference-only schedule this season due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The focus immediately turned to the biggest question: which 2 opponents get added to each team's schedule? That question was answered on Friday when the conference announced those new opponents for all 14 of its teams. Now, each SEC team will play one permanent cross-division rival and another rotating cross-division opponent under normal circumstances. The format this year calls for 2 additional rotating cross-division opponents in addition to the 1 cross-division opponent that was already on each team's schedule. Commissioner Greg Sankey said this, quote, "We made every effort to create a schedule that is as competitive as possible and builds on the existing 8 conference games that had already been scheduled for 2020. This schedule is a one-year anomaly that we have developed under unique circumstances presented by the impact of COVID-19. Now, here's a look at the two additional opponents added to each SEC's team schedule. Now in Alabama, the previously scheduled versus Georgia, and at Tennessee, the added opponents versus Kentucky and at Missouri. Arkansas, previously scheduled Tennessee and Missouri, added opponents Georgia and Florida. Auburn, previously scheduled Kentucky, Georgia, added opponents Tennessee, South Carolina. Florida, they got LSU and Ole Miss. Now they add Arkansas and Texas A&M. Georgia, previously scheduled Auburn, Alabama. The added opponents will be Mississippi State and Arkansas. In Kentucky, it'll be Mississippi State and Auburn. Plus, they added Ole Miss and Alabama. For LSU, previously scheduled Southern Carolina and Florida. The added opponents, Missouri and Vanderbilt. Ole Miss, previously scheduled Florida and Vanderbilt. The added opponents, South Carolina and Kentucky. Mississippi State, previously scheduled Missouri and Kentucky. Added opponents, Vanderbilt and Georgia. Missouri will have previously scheduled Arkansas and Mississippi State. The added opponents will be Alabama and LSU. South Carolina will, of course, have Texas A&M and LSU, but they will add Auburn and Ole Miss. Tennessee will have, of course, Alabama and Arkansas, and they'll add Texas A&M and Auburn. Texas A&M, which will be playing Vanderbilt and South Carolina, will now add Florida and Tennessee. And Vanderbilt, which has Ole Miss and Texas previously scheduled, will now add LSU and Mississippi State. Now, the full week-by-week SEC schedule is set to be released next week and won't necessarily have scheduled opponents playing on the same days as was previously announced. They'll start in the traditional Week 4 of September 26th and conclude with the SEC Championship game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta on December 19th, 2 weeks later than scheduled. Every SEC team will have a bye week on December 12th, 1 week before the conference championship game. That bye week can be used to make up any games impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic or as an extra week for teams to prepare for the conference title matchup. There you go. In other football-related news, well, just days after multiple Colorado State football players and staff members claimed there's a COVID-19 testing cover-up issue within the football program, Colorado State Athletic Director Joe Parker announced Friday that all football-related activities are paused indefinitely, pending an investigation into what Parker termed extremely troubling allegations of racism and verbal abuse from CSU's athletic administration generally and the football program, end quote. Parker said in a statement that the allegations will be addressed before we focus on playing football. Now, the paused football activities includes practices, workouts, and team meetings. Now, the investigation into allegations of racism and verbal abuse joined another investigation. Was not adhering to COVID-19 protocols, though others within the program or representing the university heavily disputed those allegations. The Fort Collins, Coloradoan reported Tuesday that players and staff members claimed coaches told players not to report symptoms, threatened them with the loss of playing time, and said the school is altering contact tracing reports in order to keep positive testing numbers down. A current player who chose not to be identified said, quote, I believe there's a cover-up going on at CSU. They can only cover it up so long, and now that we have so many cases across the lakes, they can't cover it up anymore. It's not about the health and safety of the players, but about just trying to make money off the players, end quote. The allegations prompted Colorado State President Joyce McConnell to launch the initial investigation that she promised on Wednesday will move quickly. Now, Parker and coach Steve Adedazio said in statements published by the university that they will embrace and support the investigation. In fact, Joyce McConnell wrote in a letter, I quote, I tell you all now that nothing is more important to me or CSU than the health and well-being of our students. Nothing. They are our purpose and our responsibility, each and every one of them, whatever sport they play or major they declare. Now, among the allegations levied by these players and coaches is that Adedazio, who is in his first year as coach, and defense coordinator Chuck Heater are reluctant to wear their mask. Now, an unnamed staff member, as one of the 10 total players and staff members interviewed, also raised concerns about the state of the program. Now, a player said, quote, we had a player who definitely had coronavirus symptoms, coughing at practice, and he wasn't wearing a mask, and I was next to him, touching him, and there was spit and sweat. I told him he needed to get tested, but he really didn't want to because then he would be out. The next day, he's not at practice. If he tested positive, he'd already spread the virus. That's why a lot of players don't feel safe at football practice. Now, a staffer, unnamed, said, quote, there are some red flags in the athletic department, but the common denominator with this administration is to protect the coaches before student athletes, and that makes them feel more like cattle than student athletes. Of course, several players took to Twitter to dispute the claims made by the unnamed players and staff members in the story. Parker commented on current COVID-19 testing program. Quote, this athlete population is the most tested population there is here, but obviously some feel that it is not good. It's not a good enough job to make them feel comfortable regarding their health. If that's the feeling, we will need to amp it up. Colorado State Associate Athletic Director for Communications, Kyle Nevis, also released a statement disputing the nature of the reporting. Voluntary workouts were paused on July 29th after 27 players missed practice due to COVID-19, according to a report. Those numbers spiked after a number of football players as well as players in other sports attended a party over July 4th weekend. Parker agreed that the incident likely led to the increase in positive cases. Adazio went 44-44 in 7 years at Boston College from 2013 to 2019 before being dismissed after the season. It's safe to say that he hasn't exactly endeared himself to current players. A player said, I think everybody could be doing a better job, but for our coaches to tell players not to tell trainers if they have symptoms because we had so many guys out is wrong. We couldn't agree more. All right, let's continue on. We'll give you some baseball scores as well. And the great Tiger Woods has done the impossible. Tiger Woods nearly missed his second consecutive cut at the PGA Championship on Friday as he shot at 2 over 72 on a day where he needs something much better than that to have hope of contending in Arena weekend. Woods teed off late in the day, trailing leader Hao Tong Lee by just 6 strokes with a lot of runway in front of him. Unfortunately, the plane never got off the ground. Woods went out in 37, came home in 35, and sits at an even par 140 after 2 rounds with an earlier than comfortable tee time on Saturday morning with just too much on the ground to make up over the Sun Fits. Wow. Okay, Woods went out in 37, came home in 35, and sits at even par 140 after 2 rounds, with an earlier than comfortable tee time on Saturday morning with too much ground to make up over the final 2 days. Major Championship number 16 is almost certainly out of reach, barring some sort of miracle over the final 36 holes. And while having Tiger around for a weekend at a major is far better than not having Tiger around the first 2 days of the season or of the week, certainly could have gone a lot better than it did. And there you go. Let's give you the full complement of all the fun, all this stuff. All right. Right now, we're going to go to some baseball scores. We got 4 games still going on. One is in extra innings. Let's go forward for our baseball runaround. And as we wait for the full scoreboard to materialize, we want to remind you that it's a pretty quiet night here. Okay, we are at the top of the 8th inning. It is Rangers 4, Angels 3, 4-4-0 for Rangers, 3-7-2 for the Angels. In the middle of 11th, Houston Astros and the Oakland Lakes are tied at 1-5-0 for the Stros, 1-7-0 for the A's. In the 7th, the Los Angeles Dodgers lead the San Francisco Giants 6-2, 6-7-0 for the Dodgers, 2-7-1 for the Giants. Anyway, shall we continue on? Yes, we shall. Another match, no longer. This is the bottom of the 8th, or top. No, this is the top of the 8th. It's Rockies 8, Mariners 4, 8, 9, and 1 are okay. Right now, as we said, the Rockies lead the Mariners 8-4, 8-9-1 for the Rocks, 4-7-0 for the Mariners. Okay. Orioles blanked the Nationals 11-0, 11-19-0 for the Orioles, 0-4-1 for the Nationals. Malone gets the win. He split them up 1-1. Sanchez the loser. He's 0-2. Malone for Baltimore, the pitcher, pitched 6 full innings, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, got 3 strikeouts and no walks. Nunez, a designated hitter for Baltimore, 2 for 4, 2 runs, a home run, 3 RBIs, and a walk. More final scores. The Tampa Bay Rays blanked the New York Yankees 1-0, 1-2-0 for Rays, 0-2-0 for the Yankees. Rowe gets the win for the Rays. He's 2-0, and Ottavino finally could put a 1 on the losing scale. He's 2-1. Rowe pitched 2 full innings, gave up 1 hit, no errors, 2 strikeouts, and no base on balls. Gonzalez for Pittsburgh, the shortstop, 4 for 5, a run, a homer, double, and 6 RBIs. Cole, Pittsburgh pitcher, 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, and no base on balls or walks. Marlins over the Mets, 4-3, 4-7-1 for the Marlins, 3-6-0 for the Mets. Tarpley gets his second win in a row for the Marlins, while Waka gets a lesson in humility, 1-2, and Vincent gets a save. And speaking of Vincent, 1 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, no walks. Tarpley, Miami pitcher, 2 innings pitched, no homer, no hits, no errors, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 5-3, 5-6-2 for the Red Sox, 3-8-0 for the Blue Jays. Hembry gets the win for the Red Sox. He's 2-1. Rourke. Oh boy. Okay, let's continue. By the way, Hembry for Boston, 1 inning pitch, no hits, no earned runs, no scraping the bottom of the barrel. It is, of course, the top man of comedy. Verdugo for right fielder, 2 for 3, 2 runs, 2 homers, 2 RBI, and 288. Good. All right. Holland pitcher, 1 1/3 innings, no hit, no error, no strikeouts, no walks. Rosenthal pitcher for Kansas City, 1 full inning pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. Indians get blanked by the White Sox 2-0. 2-6-1 for the White Sox, 0-4-1 for the Indians. Cease gets the win. He's 2-1, and Savali gets the loss. He's 1-2. Cease, the pitcher for the general manager. Okay. Let's see. Sisson Valley I've already done. Davies, the pitcher for San Diego, 5-2. Innings that he's going to make now. I sort of am getting to hate. My mind is somewhat. All right, let's continue here. Davies, the San Diego pitcher. No, the winner was Davies. He's 2-1. The loser was Weaver. He's 0-3, and Yates gets his second save. Davies, the San Diego pitcher, pitched 5 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and no walks. While Clark, the Arizona pitcher, pitched 3 innings, gave up no hits, no earned runs, and 3 strikeouts, along with incredible sunrise and/or sunset. Braves, Phillies, Cardinals, and Cubs all pitching in for a little help. God. Anyway, the Dodgers Seager has, before bad luck for Dodgers, it just got worse. The Dodgers Seager exits with a lower back issue. Score, please. I'm begging. All right. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers are being vocal about the lack of diversity in the NFL, and just how vocal? Big time. Mitchell Lawrence is committed to playing the 2020 season. He's just ready to have a plain talk. Clemson star quarterback Trevor Lawrence said it Friday. Thank you over there. Keep your hands alone. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well. I think we have a chance to rectify the situation. Man. Okay, wow. The hair is revolting. Okay, let's get you some updated Major League Baseball scores if we can. Just go to the ones that we've just given out. Rangers lead the Angels 4-3, 4-5-0 against 3 champions of it all. There you go. Of course, wow. Astros and Athletics are still tied at 1 in the the top of the 11th inning. Dodgers lead the Giants by 4, 6-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 9th, Rockies over the Mariners 8-4. While in the final, the Orioles, this is a new look Orioles system. They are taming teams like Washington, indeed. So we are done with our NBA Wonton Suton Kaboom.
Horford bumping bodies, and he misses on the flip. Out of bounds, last touch by Vucevic.
We'll see a lot more of that tonight. Philadelphia posts up more than any team in the NBA. Obviously with Embiid, but they also get favorable matchup. Tobias Harris and Al Horford. They'll go down into the post. We'll see more of it than we see in most NBA games.
Rex Brown and Steve Clifford, a long time connection.
All right.
Inside rim on a fadeaway. Clifford telling us that he considers the Brown family like his family.
And by the way, Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
Major League Baseball and the Players Association have indeed, we love them, they have agreed to a strict new COVID-19 rules. Congratulations. Wow. All right, let's Okay, let's I think we've already done baseball, and we've already all right. Okay, let's see what more we got here. Want to remind you coming up, or well, he's already 30 minutes into his show. Nick Ricada, Lost Pointing Interwebs. It's only on the Ricada Law channel, only on YouTube. Please go to it if you are so inclined so to do. Okay. We're getting close to our ending bit here. So let's get you to the scoreboard. And here we go. We got everything for you tonight. And well, your puffer should be used if you're having trouble breathing, Mom. Okay, let's get some scores, and then we will bid you tonight, good night. Champions League playoffs: Juventus over Lyon 2-1, Manchester City over Real Madrid 2-1. In the club friendly, we'll just give you a few of the games that have taken place. SK Rapid Vienna over First Vienna 3-0. Ermis and Karmiotisa tied at 1. Bravo over Tibor Cesna 1-0. And if you want further scores, go to scoreboard.com/EN for soccer action. In basketball, the San Antonio Spurs beat the Utah Jazz 119-111. Memphis Grizzlies over the Oklahoma City Thunder 121-92. Brooklyn Nets over the Sacramento Kings 119-106. Philadelphia 76ers over the Orlando Magic 108-101. The Pelicans defeated the Washington Wizards 118-107. And the Raptors lost to the Boston Celtics 122-100. Let's get you over to the NHL where 6 teams were getting ready to do some clinching as Lord Stanley's coveted chalice prepares for the big winner. Excuse me for a moment while I'm swallowing. But here we go. And with 1:20 left to play in Game 4, Vancouver and Minnesota are tied at 3 in the second period. Vancouver does lead the series 2-1. New York Islanders finished off the Florida Panthers 5-1 to win the series 3-1. And it took overtime, but the Arizona Coyotes have defeated the Nashville Predators by a score of 4-3 to win the series 3-1. Montreal has advanced. They beat Pittsburgh 2-0 and will take the series 3-1. The Linda Steel Chicago Blackhawks have just crushed the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 3-2 to win their series 3-1. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have survived, and they beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-3 in overtime to tie the series at 2 games apiece. Wow. So that was incredible. The games for tomorrow, we got 2 games. One at 3 o'clock. You can watch that on NBC as well as on Sportsnet and the French-Canadian TVA Sports Network. Vegas and Colorado. Then at 8 o'clock, it'll be Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. That game will be also on NBC, TVA Sports, and Sportsnet. So, look out, world. The action is getting even hotter in the NHL. And we got about 2 minutes left on our little show, but we're going to extend it for a bit because we got stuff to tell you about and to do, and we're going to say a fast hello to my friends on Facebook, to my friends on Twitter, and my friends on Instagram, and a very happy birthday to Chicago's very own Linda Steele, who I have a feeling might have a big surprise in her birthday. So, happy birthday, and we do it as always. Happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday, Linda Steele. Happy birthday to you. Take care of business, darling. All right, that's it. We're going to be back to our normal hellos very soon. But man, we have been really stack-a-racket here. Now, before we say our good nights, let's wrap up the day of the. Let's go to the NASCAR trucks over at MIS. And we congratulate Zane Smith as he wins his first ever Gander Outdoor and RV race in overtime, finish at Michigan. Now, here's what's coming up tomorrow. The Xfinity race, and we hope you'll at noon Eastern time. And then, of course, on Sunday, on Saturday, of course, you got the Xfinity race, the Henry 180 at Road America. And then the NASCAR Cup Series number 1, the 4 p.m. Eastern, Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan. Then on August 9th at 4:30, it's the Consumers Energy 400 at Michigan. Both events can be seen on NBCSN and heard on MRN Radio. So it's going to be fun. We hope you'll tune in for that. Okay. That was some session we had since we couldn't do the 12, since we could do the L2C since the brain was absent but sleeping. And it's a good sleep, and that's what I'm going to be doing in a few moments. We did have something good. Wish we had it recorded. Anyway, don't worry. We'll have a special Sunday show for you folks on Sunday at 11 o'clock. All of us will be there, and who knows who is going to be showing up there. Anyway, Sunday is our go-to day for the Last Call Cafe on Spreaker. If things screw up on Friday, we will take the show over to Sunday and really make it work. Anyway, we got about 2 minutes before we wrap this thing up, and I want to say thank you to everyone for being part of our broadcast. And if it seems like for about maybe a couple of days, 3 or 4 days, that things have been hectic, they have been. A lot of breaking sports news, and that has caused us to sort of shrink things and sort of put things in like a little capsule. But I want to let you know, folks, that sports is a fun biz, and I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to do the L2C on Spreaker. And, of course, the other show, Jade Brainman Presents Wrestle Anime Hut. But it's our Friday show that makes the weekend possible, and I want to thank all of you for looking in on our Spreaker show and also looking in on this show, as we are still a work in progress. In fact, in 2 weeks, we're going to be putting up some things here so that we can actually be in sort of a little studio, and we won't have to worry about having to blank out the television for the background noise like we do every time. But it's coming up in about maybe 2-3 weeks. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Take it easy out there, and have a great weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow night at 11:10. Yeah, no, not 11:10, but at what time, guys? 11:35? 11:35. Saturday night. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I am Steve, the Baxman Baxley. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions for the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. And for everybody here on the Sports Final, we are not cowards. We are strong men. We don't even wear tights. Thank you, everybody, for watching. No matter what sport you love, may your favorite team always be winners. And as usual, good night, America, wherever and whomever ye shall be and whomever ye are. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow night.